Thank you for tuning in and welcome back, team. Have you ever wondered of what it would be like to buy your first home, what steps that you should take, and how to know if you're ready right now or not? This video today is about 10 first-time homebuyer steps that you can take right now. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. I upload 6 days a week, so make sure you tap that bell and always know when there's a new video ready for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this, team. You know, when you get ready to buy your first home and you clicked on this video, I'm super excited that you did, by the way. Thank you for doing that. You're in the right place and you're going to get the great scoop today on how to help out. When you get ready to buy your first home, it can seem scary. It can seem, you know, you got that anxiety in your stomach and you're nervous, and that's probably what you're experiencing right now, right? I get it. Anyone that has bought a home, we've all been a first-time home buyer, and let us share some experience. And number one, let me lead in with this. What you're experiencing right now is great, and even with that anxiety, it's still a good thing. It means that you're alive. It means that this is something that's very important to you. So now it's time to replace what's called fear with knowledge, right? And I want you to know this and use it and apply it however you see fit in your life. Fear is really an acronym that means false evidence appearing real. When you replace false evidence appearing real with knowledge, then you get the courage to grow in comfort and grow in confidence, because that's what knowledge provides. And every video that you watch like this, everything that you learn as a first-time homebuyer will reinforce your position, and you'll know what to expect next. By taking away the unknown, it'll become known, and you'll be able to chart your path forward. So let's go ahead and go into these 10 steps, okay? So the first one is actually reviewing your financial health. You want to review your financial health, and you want to ensure that you have at least 3 months to 6 months of savings set up just for emergency expenses. Before you start looking at homes, before you start looking at online listings and falling in love, make sure that you got an emergency reserve account set up. I want you to always have that set up, and it should be about 3 months to 6 months of income that you would need to live month to month, okay? That's number one. That's a very prudent thing. Next thing is to look at your savings account, look at your checking account. Make sure that you're gonna have enough money for a down payment. Depending on the loan program that you're gonna be using with, this can vary wildly from as low as 1% down to no money down if it's like a down payment assistance program, a home as possible program, or some other specialty home buying program. But you're also going to have this thing called buyer closing costs. And buyer closing costs, for reference, are generally 2% to 4% of a home's sales price, so the home value. So if you're looking for a $500,000 house and you got to pay 2%, that's $10,000 that you need to be ready for. Or 4%, which is the higher end of the buyer closing cost table. For the same $500,000 home, it's going to cost you $20,000. That's on top of your down payment amount. So make sure that you know what you're doing and saving up money for that, and make sure that you meet with a trusted real estate advisor to discover that. Step 2 is actually checking in the benefits for first-time homebuyers in your area. Now, I'm a strong believer and an advocate of first-time homebuyer education, hence why I've made so many videos on my channel about you, the first-time homebuyer, that help you get this right. It can be an absolutely amazing and fun time buying your new home, and it should be. And you should have a wonderful experience, a great trusted real estate advisor that's got your back, that's explaining everything from A to Z, every step along the way, to make sure that you're comfortable and confident moving forward and getting the keys on the closing day to your new home. So check into some first-time home buyer benefits in your area and continue watching the other videos I've made about this. The third step is actually getting a trusted real estate advisor, picking one. I've made a couple of videos now about that. I'll go ahead and pop up that link up there on that card, and feel free to go ahead and take a look at it. It'll teach you a lot about how to assess an agent and a loan officer for that matter. Ask your trusted real estate advisor, are there any home as possible down payment assistance or especially programs available in your area? Like, for example, right now when I'm shooting this video, there's a program in Las Vegas, Nevada that's really, really freaking awesome. It's called a Hope Brings You Home program. And with that program, it's actually giving buyers all of their down payment money and their buyer closing cost money up to $20,000. It's awesome. It's going to help a lot of people become homeowners, but it's a very limited thing. So there might be limited programs over there. And when I say limited, I'm talking about like the amount of money that's available for the program. It's a whole different topic altogether about that program. But in many states and in many cities and counties, there are similar type programs for first-time homebuyers. Ask your trusted real estate advisor, because more than likely they have great local loan officers they're working with that have taught them about that, and they're happy to make that introduction for you. Okay? So then the fourth thing is actually meeting with the lender. When you meet with the lender, you need to be ready to get your pre-approval done. So you need to get all your paperwork in order with your last 2 years tax statements, your last 2 years W-2s, your last 2 months bank statements, your last 1 month pay stubs, and have your identification card, your social security card ready to go. And that'll get the ball rolling with the loan officer, the local loan officer that you choose to work with, to go ahead and get a loan pre-approval letter. Now you will want to know that. You'll absolutely want to know how much home you should be shopping for before you get in the car, before you look at one single home. I know it's tempting. Just bear with me here and bear with yourself here. Do yourself the favor. Get your trusted real estate advisor down first so you can establish a game plan, get your financial pre-approval second, and then once that comes in, then you're ready to go home shopping. Because how would you feel if you got out there and you found a home that you just loved, and you turn around and tell the agent, hey, I'd really like to give this home a try. I really want to make an offer on this. And the agent says, you know, I really wish I could help. You don't have a loan pre-approval letter. I can't write an offer without one. Sellers aren't going to take you seriously unless you're financially pre-approved. And then you're right there is going to be that oh crap moment. You're like, I put the cart before the horse when I should have just planned this out and done it right. So go ahead and get it done right up front, okay? That's the step you can take right now is shopping around for a mortgage. So even though you've met with a lender, even though that you're getting your loan pre-approval letter, you'll still want to make sure that the interest rates are good for you, the program is good for you, and probably more significantly, honest to God, more significantly than even the interest rate on your home, as big of a deal as that is making sure that whatever lender you're working with can perform, meaning can they close on your loan? It may come as a shock, but about a third of the time, all escrows, all people that enter the closing process will fall out of the closing process at some point, a third of the time. There's things that you can do right now, and you are doing it by watching this video, by the way, to know how to be able to move forward and not have that happen to you, okay? We want to make sure that you have a great first-time homebuyer experience, not an awful one. We don't want to see you falling out of escrow after you've already spent money on home inspections and home appraisals, money you won't get back if this wasn't done right to begin with. So make sure that you got a good one. And the way that you know if you got a good one is to simply check their online ratings reviews. Ask them. Talk to your trusted real estate advisor. If you got a good trusted real estate advisor, you followed that information in the video about picking a trusted real estate advisor, picking a real estate agent, then you're gonna be in good hands, okay? So then that brings you up to the sixth one. It's always good to have more than one lender in mind in case one lender might have a specialty program that the other lender didn't have, which made them a good option, but then that loan program is no longer available. Well, if that happens, then you need to have a backup lender in case that other lender can't help you any longer. Now, oftentimes, trusted real estate advisors will have different local loan officers that they know, and they'll be ready to step in if that happens. Now, that just a backup lender, that's just as a contingency planner in me. Maybe that's all it is always having a backup plan in case the first plan doesn't go down. But I know that by planning the first plan out correctly, normally it's going to go down the right way the first time, every time, okay? So that brings you on to the seventh one, is actually deciding on the neighborhood that you want to live in. Now, this is something that I always encourage, whether you're a first-time homebuyer or homebuyer in general, I always strongly encourage you to go ahead and drive the area. If you're seeing homes online, you're on Zillow, you're on your agent's website, you're on whatever, right? And you're saying, oh, I really love this home in the pictures, do yourself a favor, go ahead and get in the car, drive over there right now, and take a look at it. And make sure that area is going to be right for you. Because too often people are like not familiar with different areas of town depending on how big the city is, right? But here in Vegas, you know, we got over 2 million people here. It's a pretty big city. And they're like, oh, I really love this house, but how's the area? Well, that's a hard thing for me to answer as a real estate advisor. One, I cannot legally or ethically answer that because it's called steering. Steering is an illegal thing, and no agent should try to be pushing you one way or the other into a location. Now, that being said, who really is going to know if it's the right area for you or not? You. Get in the car, drive over there, scope it out, and see if it's right for you. And then if you still like the area once you've done that, then call your trusted real estate advisor, ask them to set that appointment as needed, and go ahead and check out that house. And if it feels right, it normally is right. And if it doesn't feel right, then it normally isn't right. So keep that in mind too when you're out looking at homes and when you see homes in pictures and when you're thinking about making an offer. If it feels right, it usually is, okay? So then that'll take you into the eighth point, is when you do find that property that you want, crunch your numbers again. Find out and get more of an estimate, get a closer estimate of what your monthly mortgage would be on that specific property so that you know what your principal, your interest, your property taxes, and your home insurance combined are going to look like. But don't forget about that thing called an HOA in case you're looking at an HOA community. That's good for the have in your budgeting purposes for knowing how much your home is going to cost you. Here, the ninth thing that you can do as a first-time home buyer is look over utility bills. Ask your trusted real estate advisor to reach out to the listing agent of that property and ask them to provide the last 12 months of their energy bills. If you have an idea, or at least just see if there's an average. I mean, if they don't want to say, oh yeah, here you go right here, well, just ask them, what was the average? What was the average of each utility in that house for the last 12 months? That way you can come up with a rough estimate of what it's going to cost you on a monthly basis to own that home, and make sure that it's going to be something that's setting yourself up for success, okay? So then that takes you to the 10th one, and that's just a reminder not to forego a home inspection. You always want to have a home inspection. Whenever you get a home inspection, what happens is you're going to have a home inspector that's going to go in with typically about a 1,600 point checklist, and they're going to be assessing that house. They're going to put together a report. They're going to take pictures of the different things that they noted and provide their professional opinion as they saw the house at that moment in time when they inspected that property. Then they're going to turn around and give you a copy. They're going to give your trusted real estate agent a copy, and then you guys are going to discuss it and perform what's called a repair request, right? Now keep in mind, by the very nature of a repair request, what's involved in that term? Request. Does that mean the seller has to fix it? No, not necessarily. Does that mean they will fix it? Maybe. It's a request. So just keep that in mind. The seller might fix it, they might not fix it. Who knows? But the point is that having a home inspection, at least now you have clear eyes and you have a clear mind of what you just purchased, and you'll be able to know what you should add to your home maintenance list going forward, and go ahead and come up with a timetable for owning your new home and what projects need to be completed there. Now tell me what you're thinking about this video in the comment section below. It's all about you. Tell me what was the most impactful tip that you got from this video in the comment section below, along with any other tips or suggestions that you have with us. Let's continue to learn and grow together, okay? If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. And number 3, please share it around with someone you know it's going to be able to help, because I'm sure that you could think of someone right now that could really use this video to help them along in their home buying experience. Please go ahead and share it with them. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put up my contact information right now in case you would like to reach out to me, just to drop me a line to say hello, or if you need help finding a top agent where you live, I'm always here to help you. Thank you. So in between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Enjoy a wonderful day, and we'll come back and see you again soon.